Welcome to the Explainer. Now, I want you to imagine standing right in the middle of a vast, completely unforgiving salt plain. We're talking an environment where temperatures can easily soar past 120 degrees Fahrenheit, and rain, well, rain is just a rare, fleeting miracle out there. Today, simply surviving in a place like that would require some seriously cutting-edge tech and a massive logistical supply chain. But what if I told you that an ancient civilization didn't just survive there? They actually built a thriving, bustling metropolis right in that exact spot. A civilization that totally defied the absolute harshest elements of nature. Well, today, we're exploring the awe-inspiring story of Dholavira, the ancient masters of water engineering. Okay, let's dive into this. How did Dholavira survive where others completely failed? You know, that's the giant puzzle that has fascinated archaeologists for decades now. I mean, we are talking about a major urban center planted right in the middle of the barren, notoriously drought-prone salt plains of the Great Run of Kutch. On paper, it seems utterly impossible. You've got a landscape that was practically designed by nature to reject human habitation. Yet right here, one of the greatest cities of the entire Indus Valley Civilization planted its roots, grew, and flourished against all conceivable odds. And I really want you to keep this number in mind as we go, 4,000. Over 4,000 years ago, long before the age of massive earth movers, combustion engines, steel, or modern hydraulics, the people of Dholavira engineered massive, city-wide infrastructure. And the craziest part? They did the whole thing entirely without access to a permanent, year-round river. It's an absolutely incredible testament to human ingenuity. They looked at this hostile, super arid desert and somehow figured out a way to conquer it, using literally just the stone and dirt they had on hand. So, let's look at how they did it in Section 1, Masterpieces of Urban Planning. This hidden wonder is situated on Chronivar Island in Gujarat, and it actually remained completely lost to time until the 20th century. When archaeologists, most notably R.S. Bisht, finally began large-scale excavations there, they didn't just find some random haphazard collection of ancient buildings. No, Dholavira was strictly organized into this amazing tripartite division. You've got a heavily fortified citadel occupying the highest ground, a middle town sitting just below that, and finally the lower town, where the vast majority of the residents actually lived and worked. This rigid three-part layout is a massive clue for us. It proves that these builders were master planners who anticipated environmental and geographical challenges from day one, and they organized their society with incredible spatial logic. And this brilliantly illustrates just how unique Dholavira was compared to its famous sister cities in the Indus Valley. While places you've probably heard of, like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, were almost entirely dominated by baked brick construction, Dholavira relied really heavily on massive, sturdy stone architecture. So why the difference? Well, because Dholavira's builders adapted to their specific geography. They hit the nail on the head by utilizing the heavy stone that was available locally to build walls robust enough to actually withstand the severe environment they called home. Which brings us to Section 2, the Water Revolution. Surviving in the Great Run of Kutch meant realizing pretty quickly that your life depended entirely on planning meticulously for absolute, uncompromising scarcity. Their survival strategy was honestly absolute genius, and they executed it in 3 distinct steps. Step 1, aggressively collect rainwater and any seasonal stream runoff they could get their hands on. Step 2, direct that flow via an incredibly extensive, complex network of channels and dams. And Step 3, store massive quantities of it in carefully engineered bedrock reservoirs. These ancient engineers were capturing and conserving every single drop of water just to survive these devastating multi-year droughts that would have easily wiped out any less prepared city. I really want to let the sheer scale of that sink in for a second. Imagine trying to carve out an Olympic swimming pool from solid rock using nothing but ancient copper and stone tools. Actually, scratch that, multiply it. We are talking about enormous ancient reservoirs carved directly into solid bedrock that transformed a dry and totally unforgiving environment into a sustainable urban center. These are genuinely among the largest known water storage structures from the ancient world. You see, water management in Dholavira wasn't just a public utility like our plumbing is today. It was the very foundation of their civic identity. They were defined by their ability to conquer the desert by mastering the rain. But there are still some missing puzzle pieces. Let's get into Section 3, Unsolved Ancient Mysteries. You know, for all their advanced planning and brilliant execution, the more we learn about their engineering, the more we realize just how much of their culture is completely lost to the shadows of history. So the crucial point regarding these mysteries? Like all examples of the Indus script, the inscription remains unread. Archaeologists found this famous signboard featuring these massive, beautifully crafted symbols mounted really prominently right above a major city gateway. Was it a welcome sign? Was it a religious edict? Maybe just the city's name? We have absolutely no idea. The immense frustration of this undeciphered language means that while we can understand their physical infrastructure perfectly, we still can't hear their voices. And that missing puzzle piece leads us to a whole host of lingering questions for archaeologists today. We still don't know how the city was actually governed. Who was the mastermind that designed these massive engineering systems? How on earth did they organize the staggering amount of large-scale labor required to carve out solid bedrock? And perhaps most hauntingly of all, the whole shebang. Why did the city ultimately collapse? While the exact cause of abandonment is still technically unknown, the strongest evidence points to shifting climate patterns and a fatal, insurmountable water scarcity that eventually defeated even these master engineers. Let's bring this into the present with Section 4, Ancient Lessons for Today. The story of Dholavira isn't actually over. Right now, archaeologists are using cutting-edge modern tools, things like drone mapping, satellite imagery, and digital reconstructions, to continue uncovering new defensive structures and profound secrets that are still buried right beneath the desert floor. And what they are finding shows us that these people transformed scarcity into opportunity long before the age of machines. This is exactly why this ancient city matters to us right now. Dholavira's desperate struggle for water maps directly onto our modern-day battles with climate change and resource management. It proves that innovation under intense environmental pressure isn't just a modern phenomenon. It's a timeless human trait. They faced shifting climates and adapted with sheer, unyielding brilliance. Which leaves us with this final, absolutely critical thought to ponder. As we face our own unprecedented climate challenges today, what else can the ruins of Dholavira teach us about surviving our unpredictable future? The 4,000-year-old echoes of this desert metropolis serve as both a stark warning of what happens when the environment turns against us and a truly profound inspiration for human resilience. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Until next time, keep questioning and keep learning.